everything that you're trying to bring. I'm a Leo, I'm a lion, you should just call me king. Looking for the fame, gotta get the cash first. Then I'm going pop with the stars like I'm fireworks.
Hey guys, and
welcome back
to another edition of Reactions with Phil and
Sam.
I'm glad to be back, and I'm super happy that you guys are loving the content so far. Super appreciative of all the subscriptions, the comments, the suggestions for reaction videos.
So many suggestions.
So many that we have to get to. We'll do our best. It's going to be difficult to get through them all. I know there's been a lot of MGK ones that were requested, a few Eminem ones as well. We just did a Nas video, and so a few people have requested some Nas songs. But we'll do our best, but like I said, the biggest thing that I wanted to just make mention is thank you so much, guys, for the subscriptions, the likes, the comments. We appreciate all that, and it makes us want to do more videos. And
many new songs to hear.
Yeah, and there are songs too that you guys have mentioned that we haven't heard before. So
yeah, for sure.
So we're looking forward to doing some of those videos. But today we don't have any MGK. It's going to be Eminem, and the song is "Without Me." This is a song from the album Eminem Show, yeah. And it's one of those songs that I definitely didn't listen to as much. On the Eminem Show. I liked the more gangster rap at the time.
Yeah.
Where it was a little bit harder sound. This song is obviously a little more pop-based sound. It was a mainstream. It was a single. It did really, really well. I think it was one of his most popular songs, I think. But for me, I wasn't a huge fan of it at the time. Since then, I've grown to appreciate it more as I've gone back and listened to more of Eminem stuff.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's been a while since I've listened to this song, and it's definitely not my first choice Eminem song that I would listen to. But it's not that I dislike it at this point either. It's just I've grown to like a lot of other songs on the Eminem Show. The Eminem Show is one of my favorite albums for sure.
Yeah, I think when it first came out, right, at the time period you were in high school, I believe.
Yeah, probably.
So I think like you said, you were a little bit more into the gangster rap. I was still in elementary school, so it was a little bit more friendly. I was allowed to listen to that one, but yeah.
So this is a song that you like?
Yes. I've listened to it a lot when I was younger, but it's been a long time, I would say, since I've sat down and listened to it. But I did like it in the very beginning. But like I said, right, when you're 12, it's a little bit easier to kind of get into.
Yeah.
So Superman, though. Superman was always my favorite song on the Eminem Show.
So it's been a long time for you since you've listened to it.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a long time for me, and I have not listened I've definitely not listened to this detailed in a detailed fashion. I don't expect that there's a ton of bars in this that I'm gonna have to break down.
Maybe it'll catch you off guard.
Maybe it will. Maybe, like I said, because in all honesty, it wasn't one of those things where I listened to it a lot and in depth, because I didn't feel like it was one of those songs. I figured it was just a mainstream song, and I was I don't really care.
Poppy version.
Yeah, I was in that state of I'm a hip hop head. This isn't for me. So but with that said, it's one of the more popular songs, and it did do well. And this is a song that you might hear at
I think
a wedding.
this was even on the radio with a clean version at
one
point.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It had a video, it had a single, and it's a song you'll hear at weddings, or you might be randomly out at a restaurant and it'll come on.
Yeah, for sure.
But I've never really paid attention to it. So for me, it's like I said, it's going to be the first time I'm actually going to give it a real critical listen and say, okay, is this a good song, a great song? Do I like it? Do I love it? I'm going to actually sit down and be like, okay, let's see what it's all about.
Even after hearing it and stuff in the past, all I can hear in my head when I think of it is the na 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 na. That part of it. That's all I remember. So
I just remember the video with he's Batman and Robin kind of thing.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
And I just remember there's there's a lot of shots in the car, and it's he's got his crotch right in the video. It's
his videos are so weird.
Yeah, I just remember that and be because at that time, like I said, I was young and I was I don't want to watch this.
What is this? Yeah.
I was he's just obviously being Eminem and being a clown basically, not a bad way, but clowning
around. Joking around. Yeah.
But pushing everybody's buttons. Anyway, so that's enough talk. We got Without Me, Eminem. Let's get into it. We've got some lyrics here, and let's see if it is what I remember it was. Should have maybe done the video, but we'll do that another time.
Trice, real name, no gimmicks. Two trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside.
That's what I remember.
Two trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 Guess who's back?
So this is a song, like you said, like it gets everybody up on the dance floor.
I've created a monster, cause nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want Shady, I'm chopped liver. Well, if you want Shady, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of weed mixed with some hard liquor, some vodka that'll jumpstart my heart quicker than a shock when I get shocked at the hospital by the doctor when I'm not cooperating. When I'm rocking the table while he's operating. You waited this long to stop debating, cause I'm back, I'm on the rag and ovulating. I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's hard.
So this is the thing, like when you listen to this as a kid, like you don't catch a lot of this, right? Like you have to picture like 12-year-old me listening to this. Like I didn't even, you're singing the words. My mom was probably like, what are you saying?
Yeah, I think that's with Eminem. Like it's the shock value that you get, right? Like, but with that said, some of the stuff that I was listening to in high school was like pretty bad. Like not the greatest influential stuff. But the thing about that, it was more like painting the picture of what was going on at the time. And I think for me, it allowed me to understand that, environment and that arena a lot more. With Eminem, it's more of just like I said, I'm just going to clown around and piss everybody off and be the class clown type thing.
Yeah, especially at this point in time. I feel like.
And he's, I think he's obviously a lot younger here. So he's, I think a little more immature at the time. But yeah, like the stuff he talks about isn't like as gangster rappy, but it's like gangster rappy. I just actually said
gangster rappy.
We're trying to keep it PG on YouTube. We'll put it out. But it's not as hard, right? It's more of Eminem's experience of his culture, his upbringing. So I think that's his way of the shock value, and in other genres of rap, there was still the shock value there. It was just a little bit different.
Yeah, for sure.
When I'm rocking the table while he's operating. You waited this long to stop debating, cause I'm back, I'm on the rag and ovulating. I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's heart problem's complicated. So the FCC won't let me be, or let me be me, so let me see. They try to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without me. So come on and dip, come on your lips, fuck that, come on your lips, so come on your tits and get ready, cause this shit's about to get heavy. I just settled all my lawsuits. Fuck you, Dip. Now this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. Little hellions, kids feeling rebellious, embarrassed, the parents still listen to Elvis.
That was me with my mom.
Like prisoners helpless, till someone comes along on a miss.
Sorry?
I said that was me with my mom. My mom's Elvis's biggest fan, and here I am listening to Eminem.
There you go. You fall right into his category of fans then.
A visionary, vision is scary. It start a revolution, polluting the airwaves, a rebel. Notice let me revel and bask in the fact that I got everyone kissing my ass, and it's a disaster. Such a catastrophe for you to see so damn much of my ass. You ask for me, well I'm back. Fiction minutes and I'm tuning in and I'm running up under your skin like a splinter. The center of attention, back for the winner. I'm interesting. The best things in wrestling, investing in your kids' ears and nesting. Trusting, attention, please. Feel attention. Soon as someone mentions me, here's my 10 cents. My 2 cents is free. A nuisance. Who sent? You sent for me? Now this looks like a job for me. So everybody.
See, like I think like it seems like he's just like kind of rhyming, words together here just for the fun of it. I think like, feel the tension. As soon as someone mentions me, here's my 10 cents. My 2 cents is free. A nuisance. Who sent me? You sent for me. Like I don't know, maybe I'm missing it, but I don't really, see the,
Like the deeper meanings.
well, not the deeper meaning, because it's not like a deep meaning song, but I
Yeah.
just mean that there's no punchline, there's no, like, here's my 10 cents, my 2 cents is free, like, here's my 2 cents, what's he
Yeah.
saying, like, my 2 cents about how
My opinion.
is,
Yeah.
right, but, like, I don't know what, like, here's my 10 cents, like, where does that come from, and, like, I'm a nuisance, yes, like, you sent for me, so, like, all this stuff is basically alluding to, him being, like you said, saying his opinion, and it not, registering with everybody what they want him to say.
Yeah.
But, like, it just, like I said, kind of feels like in this song he's just throwing the words together.
Yeah, I think
throwing
the
some rhymes
whole-
together just to be like, oh yeah, like it's like all more of a fun song.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is essentially like him saying he gives no fucks and like I'm just here to stir shit up, right? Like even if you go back in the lyrics a little bit, where he's got everybody kissing my ass and like basically saying that, I don't know where it went, but there was a portion where he was basically saying that he's just like here to stir things up and like it's it's just like kind of a joke for him. Oh, like we need a little controversy, so like because it's so empty without him, so if he's not there's no controversy, there's nothing, nobody talking about things, like he's like
Yeah.
he's the star of the show that people want to talk shit about basically.
Yeah.
Like where were we? Let's go from here.
So empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. Assisted a task it, I go tick for tack with anybody who's talking this shit, that shit, Chris Kirkpatrick. You can get your ass kicked worse than them little limp biscuit bastards. And Moby, you can get stomped by Obi. You 36-year-old boy that fag lonely. You don't know me, you're too old, let go, it's over. Nobody listen to techno, no, let's go. Just give me.
So it's
Coming for people there.
well, yeah, but I mean, like that's what's kind of crazy about the song. Like, I didn't really. I mean, I think I remember him saying something like that when I have listened to it before, just for the shock value again. But like the fact that this is obviously it's not the clean version,
Yeah.
and like the bald-headed whatever would be bleeped out, I'm sure, in any version. But the fact that he's saying all that in a single is still like he just went at Limp Bizkit and Chris Kirkpatrick and Moby and all these other people like that are more mainstream, I would say, that he's going at in a single song, and still that's being released worldwide. And I think that's like part of the stuff that made Eminem get really famous, was that can you believe that he said that?
Oh, for sure.
But it's like this is something that would occur in rap all the time, when you have rappers beefing or whatever. But the difference was Eminem is going at these, like, obviously not other rappers in a lot of circumstances. They're just pop icons, we'll say.
Yeah.
And he like Christina Aguilera and all those people.
Yeah.
And like so he's going at them, and like all these people are in the media are reacting and be like, oh my god, can you believe he said that
He's
about
giving
so and
him
so?
so much, even more attention for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and
Make
I
him
think
look more.
that I think that maybe turned me off of some of that stuff a little bit, because I was like, man, like I don't really like. I know those people aren't gonna respond to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was other stuff that he did before, like when he went at Cannabis and like other people like that, other rappers and stuff. So I think like knowing that history, I was like, that stuff that obviously didn't shock me as much. I was just like, meh, whatever. Like it's
another
just
Eminem
Eminem,
thing.
you
Yeah.
know, whatever. But
Yeah.
I think at the time that really made him get, like you said, more attention and drive him further forward.
Blew up a little bit more.
Go, it's over. Nobody listen to techno, no, let's go. Just give me the signal, I'll be there with a whole list full of new insults. I've been dope, suspenseful with a pencil ever since Prince turned himself into a symbol. But sometimes the shit just seems everybody only wants to discuss me. So this must mean I'm disgusting. But it's just me, I'm just obscene. No, I'm not the first king of controversy. I am the worst things I'm Elvis Presley to do black music so selfishly and use it to get myself wealthy. Hey, there's a concept that works.
And that's like something that they said about Elvis Presley too, I think, right? Like they said that he was doing black music at the
Yeah,
time.
I believe so.
And that's how he got like so famous. So he like basically stole black music to become famous.
Yeah.
So now he's basically saying that.
Like I'm a white guy rapping.
Yeah, and so just like Elvis, here we go.
All this full of new insults, I've been no suspenseful with a pencil ever since Prince turned himself into a symbol. But sometimes the shit just seems everybody only wants to discuss me. So this must mean I'm disgusting. But it's just me, I'm just obscene. No, I'm not the first king of controversy.
I feel like that's like a play on words there. Like, I don't really know if I'm getting it, but I feel like you guys might have to help me out with this one in the comments because. But sometimes the shit just seems everybody only wants to discuss me. This must mean I'm disgusting, but it's just me. I'm just obscene. It's like it's pretty sick play on words there too in his rhyme
Yeah.
scheme. It's pretty nice the way he put it together. And even that first
Like-
the other line before that with Prince, the way he kind of spit the rhymes was pretty tight.
Yeah.
And I didn't really pick that up when I first
Listen to it.
or when I've listened to this
Yeah, no,
before,
me
the
either.
way he kind of like, put that together pretty tightly. But I think that's like when he's saying, so this must mean I'm disgusting. I think he's saying something there, but I'm not like, I think it's like a punch line, a double entendre, but I may not be getting it. But I could be wrong. I don't know, like I said. Maybe you guys can help me out with that one.
But it's just me, I'm just obscene. No, I'm not the first king of controversy. I am the worst things and told this Presley to do black music so selfishly and use it to get myself wealthy. Hey, there's a concept that works. 20 million other white rappers emerge, but no matter how many fish in the sea, it'll be so empty without me. Now this looks like a job for me.
And that's true. Like, a lot of people like say that he's, not, or he's using the culture for his benefit.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, no other rapper has come anywhere close to Eminem's success.
No, and there's so many other white rappers out there, especially
just
now,
not even white
but-
rappers. There's so many rappers in
Oh,
general
yes.
that aren't even close to him,
No,
right? I know
100%.
he's saying it in this verse that, like,
Yeah.
there's so many
He's
other
saying there's
white
so many people
rappers.
that have tried to be him, right?
Yeah.
Have come up now trying to be him, and nobody compares.
Yeah, and like, and like he's saying, like the whole song, without me, because I'm special and I do things differently and I
Yeah.
cause so much of a ruckus and a circus.
I give
and,
no fucks.
And so, he does things a different way, and obviously we just said, lyrically, even in this song, is demonstrating that, he's better than most artists and can make a hit record like this while still rapping and, it being catchy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And no other rappers can do that, whether they're black or white or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah,
the fact
yeah.
of the matter is, yeah, of course, maybe some of his success did come from, being white and people resonating with, skin color, or more importantly, their environment or their upbringing or whatever, right? But I think
I think also there's just a lot of intrigue there too, right? Because he's so talented, and I think that people probably didn't expect that from him.
yeah, well,
because
that's
of
the
his skin
beginning.
color.
That's the
Yeah.
beginning
Yes,
part, right?
yeah.
That's where he, in the beginning, he got so much hardship because
Yeah.
people didn't expect that, or even if he was killing it, people would have been like, oh, well, like, it's not that good. Like, even me, like, I'm somebody that, like, listened to a lot of rap growing up, like hardcore, like, like I said, gangster rap or whatever. And so even for me, like, songs like this, I would be like, this is just like Eminem, like,
Soft.
being, just like, I don't want to say like white rap, but like more of like corny kind of in a way,
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that this is corny, but just in relation to some of the stuff that I was
Other
listening
stuff.
to.
Yeah.
That I think that's where initially when he released some of his stuff in the beginning, because it was different, that people didn't like it, and it was like, oh, this is like just some corny white rapper type thing, right? But at the end of the day, like, he has to be different, because if he tries to go and do the same things, or tries to be, this, at the time, if he tried to be somebody of that skin color doing what, in the hood kind of rap, people would have been like, who is this guy? Like,
Yeah,
and
not
not take him
authentic,
seriously,
yeah.
right? So, but in order for him to be taken seriously, he still had to have some of this stuff, because then it still identified with him as a person, right? So I think that's why when he's saying there's 20 whatever million, I think he said, people that look like me but they're not, the same, it is because, he's been able to mix and balance all of those things in the right formula, in the right recipe, with all the ingredients to make it all come together. And without him, it would feel so empty, basically.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. And that he's unique.
Everybody, just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said, this looks like a job for me, so everybody, just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me.
That was me. I felt like he was speaking to me.
Yeah, so
Thoughts?
I think I gave most of my breakdown there.
Yeah.
Listening to it again for the first time in a while,
Yeah,
I think
years.
I think I appreciate, like I said, that is more to the song that maybe I had.
More than just nah, 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 nah.
Well, that's the thing, like that kind of stuff. I've never been a huge fan of for Eminem, but I've grown to appreciate that. He does that for creative purposes, and
diversity
and just being different when he raps,
But
right?
I think that's also like the thing that makes Eminem too, is that he has such diverse music in his catalog. Like, he has a song like this, and then he has songs that are very slower and like heartfelt and like more depth to them, and then he has songs where he like blows your mind with lyrically in it. It's not a mainstream poppy song, it's not a in your feels kind of heartfelt connection song, it's just like really sick rap, right? So he can do all three of those, whereas like most people that are good are kind of stick in their niche and like that's all that they do, right? So
I totally agree. Like, he has to have this in his catalog to be the person that he is today. He would have never reached these heights if he hadn't have had these songs that created some shock value, but were still catchy, that you still hear today, that you're still going to hear on the radio, that have a fun video that goes with it. It's, like I said, a funner song. But for me, from like a straight like hip hop standpoint of like songs that I would listen to regularly, I wouldn't have
this one wasn't that,
like I said, if I had to rate all the songs on the Eminem show, this probably wouldn't be in my top 5.
But I don't even think it would be in my top 5.
But it's one of his most popular songs, right? So that says that, like, there's nothing to say that my taste in music is more important than everybody else's taste, right? Like, it's just my opinion that, like, I wouldn't choose to listen to this regularly. But with that said, I still can appreciate that. Like, I was still nodding my head to the whole song because it's like,
catchy.
I can listen to it once in a while. Like I said, like, if I heard it, I would rather listen to this than a lot of other stuff, right?
Oh, well, especially a lot of things out there now.
Yeah, and so, but even like back then, now that I look back, it's like this was still better than a lot of stuff that was released back then. And, but it's just the mindset that you're in sometimes. And for me, like I said, my mindset was more of, oh, this is more cornier rap, and I'm not a huge fan of that. But now that I've listened to it again, it's like, no, it's a pretty good song, and it's still got, like, it's put together well. He's got a great delivery. He's got, his, like I said, rhyme patterns are pretty good in there still. And, like, it wasn't, I don't think he was really saying a whole lot, and he was just kind of throwing some words in there. But, the whole song is just, like I said, a little more fun.
Yeah.
And so, I think it's a good song, and
I think it's probably more of a song you would like play at a party, or like you said, a wedding, like something that's going to bring people together because everybody knows it, it's dancing. It's not like, it's not something that you're going to listen to sit down and be like I want to just have my mind
mesmerized by Eminem's Eminem's bars.
But it's like you said, a fun party song. You can put it on, jam out, more relaxed.
I mean, like I said, it's better than 90% of stuff that you could hear in hip hop. So. And I don't know I'd be curious to know what the streams are on this, like, all time, how much this has been played, because I feel like it's going to be a ridiculous number, like, just out of control.
I would imagine just very high.
Anyway, so, you like the song? I think, do you think you like it more than I do?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I would say that's probably what my
Fair
assessment would be as well.
Yes.
But like I said,
like
I don't dislike it. It's just, I like a lot of Eminem, a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Eminem in my catalog, so this is probably, on the second tier rather than the top tier for me.
For sure. Yeah, no, I like it, and like I said, it's not something that I listen to like on a regular basis. But when it comes on, I'm not like, I don't want to listen to this. I'm like, yeah.
So that's Without Me, Eminem. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video.
Thanks for watching.
And you know, we'll be coming back with another one. We're gonna try to do a few more Eminem for sure.
Some other recommendations for Eminem.
Yeah, I think we've got Not Alike coming as well. That one will be interesting. Definitely a sharp contrast to this one. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining in with us today. Make sure you subscribe.
Say and like. Give us a
And
nice
like.
little thumbs up.
Because it does help us with, you know, giving you content, but also the algorithms and all that kind of stuff. So just take a minute if you can, subscribe, like, comment, let us know what you thought, let us know any other Eminem requests that you have, and we'll be happy to get into those. But yeah, you know, we enjoy doing this stuff, so we'll
See
be
you in
back
the next
again.
video.
Take care, guys.